Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. His Moon, His Prisoner. Episode 11. Chapter 48a. Asher's P.O.V. If you continue to lay there like a lazy, then you are going to ruin your suit. Come on, get up quickly now, David prodded me. It had been half an hour and I was still laying on this couch. I was not in the mood to go to the farewell party, but they were both pressuring me to change my clothes. But I still had not agreed to go with them. Let's go, Leo said, fixing his hair. I moved my hand that was covering my eyes, glancing at both of them up to down. Well, don't you two jerks clean up nice? Don't be with your mates too much at the school. Save something for when you're home too. I taunted both of them as I was very well aware of what was going on in the mind of my devilish cousin and Beta. Oh my god, Alpha! How do you know? Leo asked, taking a seat right in front of me. I sat up on the couch, giving him a side smile. Your excitement and the fantasy that you are having in your mind is telling me everything, I replied while Leo blushed at my words. His face was too easy to read. Yet I am thinking about her like crazy. It's so bad that I jerked off this morning 2 times, Leo admitted, and we all laughed. It seems that today you are going to rock your mate's world in bed. Oh, don't moan loudly or others will hear you in the school, David commented, and Leo narrowed his eyes at him. What about you? Are you not going to bang Victoria? Oh sorry, I forgot you have already made it and you must be planning to make a baby tonight, Leo corrected. We both laughed at him. David was silent for a few seconds. He sat on the couch with a serious face for a few moments. Leo looked at me, then to David. Hey David, don't take my words personally. I was just saying, Leo apologized to him, thinking that he had hurt or offended him by saying something like that. David shook his head and looked at both of us. No, actually I was thinking about how many babies I want to have. David announced with a serious face. Leo and I both kicked him hard. We all laughed together like crazy for at least 5 minutes to think about everything, whatever that fantasy was pertaining to our mates. But seriously, Asher, why do you not want to come? If our Alpha does not join the party, then why would we go? Leo asked as I stared up at the ceiling. I just don't want, I started to reply, then remembered Bella. She would also be at the party, she was coming there to get my rejection. I was laughing now, but inside my heart I was experiencing pure agony. I had been feeling like this since yesterday. I could not sleep, all I thought about was what to do today. Honestly, my wolf was depressed as he knew about the rejection. I sat on the couch with Leo and David. Don't stay here because of me, go enjoy your farewell party. I am going to stay here, I decide, getting up from the couch, tossing my coat and shirt in a pile, totally destroying its once crisp wrinkle-free lines. But if you don't go, then I won't go, Leo argued. He was being stubborn again. Me too, David shouted. I looked at both of them. They had crossed their arms over their chest and gave me annoyed looks. I just gave them a big smile and they moved away from me as they knew what I was going to do. No. Don't do it, Asher. I will not go, Leo started to say, but I had made up my mind. I order both of you to leave my house and attend the farewell party right now, I commanded, using my alpha tone. They both had to bow their heads in front of me. Their wolves submitting immediately. I went to my room peeking out the window. Leo and David were very angry with me, but they were following orders. They sat in their cars and left my house. I just chuckled, throwing my body on the bed. I stared up at the ceiling again while I was thinking about Bella. Last night she did not let me speak. I knew that she was thinking that I was going to reject her right then and there. Every word that had come out of her mouth had killed me. I have been suffering from this torment since I left her. The word rejection has become a needle that was not letting me rest in peace. Why does she want to run away from me? Because you are the one who has continually pushed her away. Now she has made up her mind to give up on us. This was what I was always afraid of. Ross spoke up in my mind. He was absolutely furious with me. He was livid, and to prove his point he tortured me the whole night by counting how many times I had hurt her with my words and actions since we had met. That was when I realized how wrong I had been. Not only had I called her a disgusting lone wolf, but I had also called her a poor lone wolf. I made her cry and beg for her precious necklace. I made her cry countless times due to my jerky attitude. I hurt her the most when she asked me if I would call her my girlfriend just for her body, not to mention all of that happened because of Jessica. It was all so incredibly messed up. Ugh! I gritted my teeth in frustration and punched the bed. It all happened because of those photos. But wait! Ross, I called my wolf. He lifted his head, but otherwise ignored me. Ross, I called him again, but he refused to pay attention. Ross! I shouted at him. What? He shouted back. Why did Bella decide to leave the city after seeing my photo with Jessica? I asked him. He rolled his eyes. It's obvious that if we were with another woman any mate would get jealous, he replied in a bored tone. What? Jealous? I asked, thinking about that day. She was really hurt. After that she was talking about rejection. What are you thinking? I wondered as he took a deep breath. I am thinking about what she is wearing today, he replied. His words also made me think. I licked my lips thinking about what she was wearing under her dress. What color the panties were that she was wearing, that I would tear off when I would with her. What? With her? Have you forgotten that she is waiting for your rejection? Ross shouted, glaring at me again. I threw the pillow in frustration as I buried my face in the bed. Now what are you thinking about again? I asked him. He took another deep breath, but it was different from the last one. We are here, he grumbled. I know. I replied quickly. Bella is there, he said. Tell me something new, not able to keep the sarcasm from my voice. Ian is also there, he reminded me, causing my eyes to fly wide open. I shouted, jumping off my bed running out of my bedroom. Bella's P.O.V. Lily was sitting beside me in the car while Victoria was driving. I was watching everything go by out of the window. We took too much time in the parlor as there were 3 of us that had to get ready, but we managed to do it. I was now looking out at the beautiful scenery of the city for the last time. This would be my last time here, and after I have left I would never come back again. Lena, I called, mind linking my wolf. Yes, she replied. I could hear how her voice was full of grief. I'm sorry, I apologized. I could feel her shaking her head in my mind. No, I have also made up my mind. If we forcefully throw ourselves at our mate, then he would be in pain from the guilt. It would just be even more painful for all of us. I understood it all, but I do not have the courage to accept his rejection, Lena revealed. My eyes were full of tears, but I didn't let a single one fall. That was when I realized that it was this morning that Lena had a change of heart and had agreed that she would accept the rejection. I had not pressured her. I was intentionally keeping my face towards the window so that Lily would not see me. I quickly wiped my eyes and opened the window for fresh air. "We are here, ladies," Victoria announced, stopping her car in the school car park. As the car came to a halt, I saw David open the car door for Victoria as Leo did the same for Lily. Their mates offered their hands to them as they walked out. I looked at my hands. He was not here for me. It was the first stage of rejection. I didn't know how I was going to be able to bear more. "Bella," I heard David and Leo. They both opened the door for me with big smiles. "Please join us," they coaxed. I smiled at them. As I got out, they both were looking at me up and down. I rubbed my cheeks with nervousness. I knew I should not have worn it. Victoria elbowed David in annoyance. "Oh, sorry. I was just amazed," he said, and I laughed. "You look absolutely stunning tonight, Luna," Leo commented, and I smiled, but why was he still calling me Luna? All of this was not letting me do anything for a moment. "Let's go." They all agreed. "Please, you all go first. I will follow you all soon," I assured them. Because of me they were not able to hold hands like they wanted to. I was the fifth wheel between them. Victoria's P.O.V. David and I entered the party together, holding hands like I had always dreamed. Everyone was looking at us. I was also wearing a gown that was blue and white. I specially wore it for David. "You look utterly breathtaking," he said and kissed my cheek. I also wanted to kiss him, but a group of senior girls dragged me away from him. I received so many hugs from them as most of them were going to leave the city for their new colleges. Some of them were going to foreign countries for higher studies. I was happy for them. They were enjoying their last day to the fullest. They all were stubborn and did not want to let me go, but with great difficulty I got away from their group chit-chat and took a deep breath. The good thing was this farewell party was in the school, so there was no alcohol, otherwise I do not know what those crazy girls will do. My eyes were searching for David, but he was nowhere to be found. It was my mistake that I had to leave him. I crossed my arms over my chest, narrowing my eyes when I spotted him with his fangirls. He was again surrounded by them, allowing for sufficient distance unlike before, but he was just surrounded by girls. I was remarkably jealous. I just wanted to drag him in my arms again. He was mine. As I was going to do so when a teacher intercepted me. "Hey Victoria!" he called, and I smiled at him. It was his last day at the school as well, because he was going to transfer to another school. "I will miss you so much, Victoria," he said, causing me to roll my eyes. At the same time I tried to look at David, who had vanished from the hall. "Yes, you will definitely miss me, as there will be no one to take your class in your absence. Please stop being a lazy," I teased him with a great laugh. He also laughed with me. "Yes, I am trying to rectify my bad habits because now you have married David, which was unexpected. You really broke my heart into tiny pieces," he claimed. I just gave him a nervous smile. I knew very well that he had a crush on me, but he was a younger man. At the moment I was 25 years old and he was only 22. I did not know why he thought that I would accept a younger man. At the same time, David was the only one on my mind from the beginning. Don't be sad, I am sure that you will soon find yourself a beautiful girlfriend, I assured him, trying to cheer him up with a small punch on his shoulder. He blushed as I touched him, so I immediately removed my hand as I was not sure if he was blushing from my words or from my touch. At the same time I found him a little creepy. Miss Victoria, a man who worked in our school, walked in front of me. He had a tie in his hand. I looked at his hand that was shaking. I lifted my eyes trying to look into his eyes, but he lowered his head. Yes, I replied to him with a little smile. Mr. David is calling you, he said, and as I heard David's name I got excited. I was searching for him and he called me. Where is he? I asked him. He told me to send you to the school garden. He will be waiting for you there, he instructed. I immediately walked away without giving my thanks. Why was he acting weird? Well, I did not care about anything, I just started to walk towards the garden. David had told me that he had a surprise for me and that he wanted to give it to me at the party, so maybe he was calling me for that. I was curious what he was going to give me. I began to walk faster so that I could see him as soon as possible. Anyway, the party here was not for us teachers, but for the students, so it was not necessary for us to stay. When I reached the garden it was dark as there was no light. David, I called out his name. I reached where we always used to meet. I knew that he had to be here somewhere. I looked around turning my eyes, but he was nowhere to be found. At the same time I smelled the air, but there was no scent anywhere. Instead of his scent, I smelled the scent of alcohol. It was so strong that it seemed as if someone had taken a bath in wine. Victoria, I heard someone say as I looked back to find that George was standing behind me. The smell of alcohol was coming from him. He was dressed in his formal pants and shirt, but it was all a mess. His shirt was not tucked in and hair was standing up every which way. George, what, are you all right? I asked. He just nodded. George hadn't come to school ever since the day that George and David quarreled. The following day David had kissed me in front of everyone and I had told him that I love him. I thought he quit his job, but this must have been a misunderstanding on my part. He was drunk to the point he was in no position to stand. I want to talk to you, he implored as he was about to fall, but I managed to hold him up. Did you tell the man to lie and tell me that David had called me here? I asked in anger. He hurriedly confessed the truth. I knew that if you heard David's name that you would definitely come, so I had to adopt this method. So that I could meet you, he explained, drinking even more. But I don't want to talk to you, George. How many times do I have to tell you that it is over between us? You have to accept this and move on with your life, I replied. As soon as he heard me he grabbed my hand and started shaking his head, like a small child. Please do not say that, Victoria. You are my reason for living. I know that when we were together you used to love me a lot and many things were wrong from my side, but I am ready to atone. If you give me one more chance, I will do everything you ask of me, George pleaded. I was shocked listening to him. I saw in him a glimpse of my old lover that I once loved. He put his hands on my cheek softly. He was polite like before and I could plainly see the love in his eyes for me. If you reject David and accept me, I promise that I will make you my Pax Luna. I will make a new pact just for your sake and together we will fulfill the dreams we both had. Reject him and be my mate, George appealed. Once he had completed his word he fainted, collapsing on top of me. I caught him quickly. He was still in my arms. As he had spoken of dreams I reminisced about my youth. My first love, George. At the same time, I also saw David standing behind George some distance away listening to the whole exchange between us. He had stood there from the beginning, but was calm and had not beat him. I saw him clenching his fist which he hid behind his back as soon as I noticed him. I gently put George under a tree calling one of his pack members to take him home. I looked at David and I did not know what was going on in his mind, but he seemed terrified after listening to George. I could feel his heartbeat, fearing that I would accept George and reject him. I walked close to him seeing the hand he had hidden behind his back. I unfolded it slowly to look at what he was holding. So my guess was right, I observed, smiling at seeing the ring in his hand. I knew he would buy a ring for me. Victoria, he called my name as I looked at him. Don't worry, David. He is my past and you are my present, but I would like to see you with me in future. Just you, I replied. His panicked face turned into a smile as he pulled me into a hug. His grip on my body was proof that he felt that I would leave him and go to George forever. Victoria, please don't ever leave me. I love you, he said, placing the ring on my finger and I kissed his lips. I love you too, I replied. Lily's P.O.V. Bella had told us to enter the party first. We all knew why she did it. I looked back at her. She was leaning against the car door looking at the moon. She was heartbroken because of her. I felt the same. I cannot believe that tomorrow she was going to vanish from our lives. She was the only best friend of mine who always helped me. Don't worry about her, Leo urged. I looked at him. I was worried and sad then he would feel the same from me. I quickly changed my emotions. No, I am not. It's just, I said, shaking my head. He held my hand brushing my cheek. You do not need to worry about her as Alpha is always there. She is his mate. If she is upset it means that Alpha can feel her. No one can bring her out of the sorrow, only Alpha, her mate. He could handle everything. I believe in my Alpha. Leo claimed his faith in Asher was something else but he's going to reject her. Everything will end between them after that, I explained, getting close to him. I was very scared of this word. Hearing me his facial expression instantly changed. Rejection? Yes, you are right, it ends everything between two people. I was so scared when you were afraid of looking at my real face. That day I thought I was rejected by my mate, by you, he revealed, looking at me. I saw the same expression that I saw in his eyes when we were on the mountain and he vanished from there as I crawled back away from him. I felt as if something like that would happen again. Leo, I called as my hand reached up to his face and he closed his eyes from my touch. He was enjoying my touch and so was I. Why me? I asked him as I was still not sure why I was his mate. It was always you, Lily. I fell in love with you the day I saw you at the bus station on your first day. You were waiting for the bus and everything in the world narrowed down to just you. You became all that I could see. My wolf was shouting mate, mate in my mind. I wanted to grab you, mark you right then and there. I wanted to make you mine, but I did not get out of my car as my fear had come true. A human was my mate. I had decided to reject my mate if they were human, but I did not know that my mate was the most beautiful girl, the innocent one. So I decided not to see you ever again and let things go like that. Then 2 days later you appeared at my school and everything changed in my life. I tried to hate you, push you away, even wanted to eat you one day to fill my desire, but, he said and stopped. I was hearing each word that was full of confession. I never knew that he saw me at the bus station on that day, but I wanted to know that he left incomplete, but what? Why had he stopped? Please say it, I asked him, almost begging. In the end I lost. He tried again, decreasing the distance between us, touching my whole body with his. I fell in love with you, he revealed, leaning down and kissing my forehead. I closed my eyes with a smile. Love. This was the first time in my life that someone had told me he loved me. You call me your mate, care for me, say you love me, but can I trust you? What if I was left alone again the day I was of no use to you? I said in my mind, I wish I could ask him out loud. My parents and relatives had abandoned me when I was of no use to them. Dad left because he could not bear the responsibility. Mom left because she also wanted a free life like Dad, and she left me as I was in the way of her freedom. Oliver always used me for making money. The day I could not generate money he sold me to his friend. But if something like that happened to me again with Leo, then that day would be the end of my life because I am in love with him. I will not force you to trust me, but at least you can try, right? Leo suddenly asked. I glanced up at him. How did he know what I was thinking? Your thought about leaving you the day you will be of no use to me, that day would never come. You are not a material object for me to use and throw away. It is my love for you that is never going to change. I just want your love too, even if it is just a little, or I will be broken. He told me, confronting every one of my worries before I felt his lips touch mine. I opened my mouth for him, letting his hot tongue in, that was now playing with mine. Cupping my face he started to walk, so I was walking backwards until my back hit the hard wall behind me. I moaned when he nibbled my lower lip. My hands wrapped around his neck as he deepened the kiss. We were in the corner of the hall where no one came because of the music. No one could hear anything. I broke the kiss, gazing into his eyes. Then I smiled, kissing his cheeks. I know I have lost my mind for you, but I want to trust you, Leo. Please don't ever leave me, I begged while he hugged me. I hugged him back, closing my eyes. He did not reply, but his warm hug said everything that I needed to know. His hands roamed down my back, causing me to shiver when he touched my hips. I pulled away a little from him. Leo, I stammered in nervousness when I saw desire in his eyes. He pinned both of my hands above my head, kissing my neck. I moaned, tilting my head back to grant him better access. His fingers were making their way down to my legs. I closed my legs tightly. He stopped, removing his hand from there, resting it on my waist. As he looked at me and stopped. He did not force me to open my legs, but he looked disappointed. I felt useless. He wanted to do it but I was afraid. I am sorry, I whispered, opening my legs again. I closed my eyes when his fingers were again going down. It will hurt. I know. I was shaking badly. If I stop him then he would leave me thinking me utterly useless. If this was what he wanted and would make him stay with me then I was ready to do it. That was when I felt Leo's hand zipping my dress back up. I opened my eyes watching him fixing my dress to its prior state. He fixed my hair too. He had not done anything. Let's go back to the party, he said, kissing me and holding my hand. I smiled to see my hand in his possessively. I believed I had found my soulmate. Bella's P.O.V. Let's go. They all said. Please you all go first. I will follow you all soon, I remarked. Because of me they were not able to hold hands like they wanted to. I was the fifth wheel among them. I just want to go to the washroom, I lied. The boys only nodded their heads. Okay, I am coming with you, we will go together, Lily offered, but I pushed her a little towards Leo. He grabbed her tightly. Yes, that was what I wanted. She blushed and I gave her a small smile. No, just go, I told all of them. They left taking my words as an order. I just said I will come soon. I watched them leaving as I leaned against the car. I knew he was not here. I could not smell him. He was not at the school, so why was I here? I took a deep breath walking towards the hall where the farewell party was being held. I could hear the function had already started. As I stepped inside the room everyone looked at me. I felt weird. My eyes roamed over all the students from Asher's pack who were here at the farewell party. Some were seniors while others were juniors. I was sure that I would not hang out with Lily and Victoria as they must be with their mates, and I do not want to be a third wheel to either of those couples. I will just sit in the corner and be invisible. A ghost. I chose a corner and started to walk there. My feet stopped when I sensed Asher's presence and his scent. I closed my eyes then opened them again. He was here, at this party, but when had he arrived? I knew he was here. I saw a boy who looked like Asher, his body structure and height was the same, but as he turned to the side I could see his face. No, he was not Asher. I think because he has been at the center of my thoughts all day I must have been imagining now that he was physically around me. If he was not here then I should also go back. I didn't think he would come. I planned on leaving the city after freeing him from myself, but he also did not want that. That was when I noticed Ian. He was coming towards me. Wow, so beautiful, he commented. I couldn't help but blush at his words. He was totally checking me out. I was wearing a wedding dress. Oh my god, I still can't believe I was wearing a wedding dress just because it looked different. Everyone was looking at me, and now Ian. I never saw him as a man and only as a friend. But the way his eyes were moving over me was making me nervous. I couldn't contain my blush. I also noticed that he was here with his pack members. His pack members were also seniors and juniors in our school. They all were watching Ian and I just want to kiss you, my bride, he said, licking his lips. I swallowed hard, becoming more apprehensive as I didn't understand what he meant. He was talking about kisses, and why was he calling me his bride? Bride? Why are you calling me your bride? I asked him as he moved closer to me. I felt his arousal. Because you are my soon-to-be bride, he whispered, and I flinched. He sounded dead serious. Was he saying this as some kind of joke because I am wearing a wedding gown? Ian, I said, taking a step back as I felt uncomfortable. I was worried that the last incident would repeat itself if he touched me. Please stop joking with me. People are watching, I stated with a smile. He gave me an empty look. It's okay, Bella. I just want to be with you, he insisted, holding me softly, getting closer still. I just nodded my head a little as his hand wrapped around my waist. Everyone started to dance with their mates and girlfriends as there was romantic music playing. Will you dance with me? He asked. I looked up to him. I was thinking before saying yes. I was not here to do any of this. Let's go, he told me, pulling me onto the dance floor. I was startled a little, but I went. I looked closely at him. His manly smell was so hot. His looks and eyes were enough to make any girl melt. Do you have a mate? I asked him. No, he answered. I nodded my head. That was strange. He was 19. I hope you will find her soon, I remarked with a smile. It will be better for her if she never finds me, he confides, making me confused. Why? I asked. Because I will kill her, he revealed as my legs stopped moving and my eyes widened. What? You will kill your mate? I gasped in disbelief. Yes, he replied. I licked my lips in panic. But why? I asked. I could see his wolf on the surface. Because I have a bride and I will marry her only, he informed me. This caused chills to shiver all over my body. He wanted to marry his bride so he would kill his own mate? What was his mate's mistake in this? He was dangerous. Too dangerous. Do you want to know who my bride is? He asked in a deep voice slowly. My throat went dry listening to him. I did not want to know about his bride, so before he could tell me her name I changed the topic. Ian, I am bad at dancing, I told him, thinking he would let me go, but he smiled handsomely and continued. No problem, Bella, from now on you will learn everything that I like, he advised, leaning down to my ear while still dancing slowly with me. What do you mean, Ian? I asked, while blinking my eyes. Oh, please don't look at me like that, or I will not be able to do what I desire, he urged. I still could not understand him. What was he saying? Okay, so I will come to the point, Bella. I want you, he said as he sat on his knees in front of me. Everyone stopped watching the two of us. Hey, what are you doing? Everyone is watching us. Get up! I exclaimed, but he just smiled. What? Don't smile, get up! I shouted in my mind. How an alpha can sit in front of me? His pack members were observing like they would kill me if they took it as an offense. I have another option as well, but I want to try this one before that. I do not think I will be gentle in the other method, he warned. Once again I could not understand him, but he held out his hand towards me. Accept me in your life, Bella. Be my mate. Come with me, he offered. Both Lena and I were shocked. Here I was going to be rejected by Asher and Ian was asking me to come into his life. One alpha does not want me but another was on his knees asking me to be in his life. Ian's pack members were there asking me to accept their alpha. I looked around seeing that Lily, Leo, David, and Victoria were also watching me. They were asking me not to accept Ian. Everyone was there, but not the person that I wanted to see. Today was the last day, but it seems he didn't even want to see me. At least Ian was showing his feelings and not feeling ashamed that I was a lone wolf. I wish my heart could accept him. Bella, what are you thinking? Come with me. Ian said, holding my hand in his own and getting up from the ground. I saw him taking me out of there and again I could not feel Lena. She had just disappeared. Why? Slowly my body started to follow Ian willingly. No, I did not want to go with him. What was happening? Bella, that was the moment I heard Asher's voice. I looked at the door and he was walking towards me. I could not blink my eyes to miss a second of seeing him. He came. I was wearing a wedding gown while he was wearing a suit like a groom. Was it a coincidence or something else? But, did he need to come like this to reject me? Come here, he insisted, pulling me away from Ian as my body bumped into him. Lena suddenly came back and I again was going crazy from his touch. Everyone was looking at us as he was doing something like this. I was happy to see him last time but now it was time. Don't go Bella. Don't leave me, he begged in panic as he saw that I was going with Ian, but he had said that before too. He held my hand tightly as if I would run away. I do not have a reason to stay, I replied the same as last time. Stay for me Bella. Stay for your Asher, he said, this time he did not use the alpha word. He had said your Asher. What? My Asher? I asked and he smiled at my surprised face. Today this alpha accepted defeat in front of his lone wolf mate, Asher announced. I was confused. What did he mean? I love you, Bella, he declared, pulling my whole body into his for a kiss. I forgot to breathe. Was I dreaming? He said he loved me. He wasn't rejecting me. As his lips touched mine, Lena who was depressed until now went insane as our mate accepted us. His wolf connected with Lena. I love you. He repeated again as I opened my eyes to look at him. His eyes were full of love for me. He had now told everyone that I was his mate. But I am a lone wolf, Asher. Are you still ready to accept me? Are you ready to accept me the way I am? I asked, still holding fear in my heart. Lone wolf or not? You are my mate. Born to only be mine. That is also enough for me. Please accept this alpha, Bella. He begged and I smiled hearing his words. Do you love me? He wondered. My heart was beating fast. He was asking me. His fear was in his hold. He was thinking I would still leave. I kissed him as my reply. He stayed there only 2 seconds, but opened his mouth for me. I felt him smiling between our kisses. I love you too, I whispered against his lips. I heard Ian kicking the table in anger, exiting the hall with his pack. Yeah! Alpha got our Luna back. Asher's pack shouted as they all were going crazy, cheering for Asher, and Asher gazed down at me while I buried my face in his chest as I felt embarrassment. I got my mate and he was Asher. Bella's p.o.va, I moaned, trying to breathe. I really tried my best, but I could not. Unconditionally my tongue was entangled against his, I was letting him play with my breath. I did not know how, but he had totally sucked my soul with his hot mouth. He was not only playing with my tongue, but my lips as well. He was sucking and nibbling on me so playfully that I was not able to resist him, but I really needed to breathe. Asher, I softly called his name, breaking our kiss, placing my hand on his chest so that I could make him stop. He opened his desireful eyes, scanning my entire face only for a few moments, before once again pulling me in for another hot and heavy kiss. The hotness of his mouth was incredibly addictive. It was like those few seconds were mercy on me so that I would not die. I just did not want him to stop, but I also knew that we were at the party surrounded by so many werewolves that were all watching us. The principal had sent every human away to have dinner, but Asher's pack was still here, they were with their mates or partners. Asher had announced in front of everyone that I was his mate in front of everyone. People were shocked. It was most shocking for his pack members as they were not aware that a lone wolf was their alpha's mate. Everyone was aware of his hatred towards lone wolves, but his announcement surprised everyone. For me it was so erotic because after the announcement he just had not been able to keep his lips off of me for a second. He pulled me into the corner and started devouring my lips. It was embarrassing for me as I was trying to control my moans, but he was so good at kissing that I was already aching for him between my legs. I could not even lie that I was wet for him. I was well aware that he was aroused as his member poked against my belly. I felt butterflies in my stomach. I immediately broke the kiss before I succumbed to his arousal and my wetness. Asher, please stop, I pleaded, thinking that he would not listen to me. That he would again kiss me, but luckily he obeyed, softly brushing my cheeks. You look so unbelievably beautiful in this wedding dress. I hate it that others are watching you. I just want to pull their eyes out. I do not want to stop, Bella. Now that you know how much I love you, I cannot stop. I want you, he confessed, making me shiver at seeing the possessiveness in his eyes. I had never seen this side of him before, it was slightly disconcerting. He was jealous of his own pack members who were watching me. He was neither ready to stop touching me or to leave me. Can you feel it? He asked, again moving his hardness against my belly, causing my heart to beat fast. My throat went dry when he rubbed himself against me. All I wanted to do was jump on him and give him what he wanted, because if he continued like this then I would not be able to hold Lena back anymore. His desire for me was so strong and overwhelming that it was irresistible. Let's do it, I want you, he murmured desperately. I felt his fingers traveling down to my thighs, then he was going to enter his fingers inside my panties. I just wanted to close my legs, but I could not as I had reached the point where I could no longer control Lena. I let him do what he wanted. Even though we were in public, I was embarrassed. I did not want to do it in front of everyone. I know that werewolves do not feel any shame when it comes to this type of thing, but I grew up in a very different environment. I am not like that. Asher, I called and finally stopped him with my shaking hands. He looked into my eyes for a few seconds, maybe hoping that I would let him continue. Then he moved away, totally taking his body away from me. I really got scared. Was he angry because I stopped him? One day Victoria told me that alphas were different, they were possessive, obsessed, and dominating. If they desire something, then no one can stop them from getting it. If I resisted him from taking my body, then I was the one who would lose, as he would choose someone else to release his pent-up desire and desire on. He would find a substitute. Asher, I said again, holding his hand, and stopped. Victoria's words had affected me so badly that I stopped him. I was afraid that he would leave me and go straight to Jessica. I would lose him. Don't go. I started to say, but could not come up with any suitable explanation to make him stop. Did he only want me for X? Are we both tied to physical relationships? This thought hurt me badly. I love him with everything I have, but does he also love me like that? I am ready, I announced, licking my lips to hide my nervousness. Let's do it here, in front of everyone if you want, I stammered with a little smile, trying hard not to show my real feelings. He immediately jumped on me again, pushing me against the wall, having his way with my neck and lips. I just closed my eyes. Maybe I was trying to prove to him that even though I was a lone wolf, I was no different from the others. I was the same as other girls were, but I was still not able to accept the fact that I was ashamed. I was about to cry, but I held myself. Bella, Asher called. I felt that he had stopped kissing me while his hand had cupped my cheek. I opened my eyes, finding him smiling at me. Are you stupid or something? Do you really think that I would do something like that in front of everyone? Never. Asher revealed. I could not hold my tears. I was so scared. You are only mine. Only I can see you, and the same goes to you. From now on only you have the right to see me with clothes or without. I am all yours. He wiped my tears. You do not need to prove anything to me. I have accepted you the way you are. If you change, then I would lose my Bella, he admitted, and I felt so good when he said that. He wanted me the way I was. Do you know why I fell for you? He asked, and I shook my head. He turned me around so we both were facing the window where we could see the moon. It was so bright and beautiful. Asher was standing behind me, holding me from behind. Being with him, this moon was even more beautiful. I fell for you because you are different, he started to say, but whispered it in my ear. I just closed my eyes when his hot breath fell on the shell of my ear. You are my one and only life partner who is different from all others and has her own personality. You are the light of my dark life, he declared, placing a small kiss on my red cheek. I smiled softly, blushing at his words. He kept his head on my shoulder as we both were looking at the moon. I do not know how long we stood there, but it was the most precious and best moment that I had spent with Asher. I wanted to treasure it in my heart. Let's go, he suddenly said. Where? I asked, confused. Let's go back home, he replied. As he mentioned home, then I remembered that I do not have home now to go back to. I had already returned the keys to the landlord as I was going to leave the city. My luggage was in Victoria's car and I was going to the railway station from here. It was night, so I needed to find a place to stay. Okay, I answered, turning to look at him. But I can go with Victoria. She will drive me home, I hedged, trying to figure this out. No, I will take you home. He pushed, holding my hand looking like I would break his heart if I refused. I was thinking about saying yes, but if he takes me home then he would know the truth. What would I do then? What's wrong? He asked, looking suspicious. Nothing, I just want to see Lily and Victoria before going back home, I indicated, walking away from there without looking back. I could not understand what to do. All of a sudden things happened and I could not understand anything. I came here to get rejected and I had no idea that instead he would express his love to me. I smiled thinking about it, but now the situation had become so strange that I did not have a house to live in. Should I ask for help from Victoria? I thought, that was a very stupid idea. She was no longer single like before, she now lived with David at his house. I know that Victoria would say yes right away if I asked her for help, but living with a couple would be very shameless, not to mention rude. It is not in my nature to take advantage of someone's kindness. As soon as I reached the hall, I saw Lily and Leo talking to each other. I could hear that he was making her laugh with his stupid jokes. She looked very happy with him. I was glad that she had eventually found true love in her life. Lily lives alone in her house, so until finding a new house, she could give me a place to stay, but it was not the right time to talk to her right now. I don't think we should bother the two beautiful couples during their precious moments, Asher advised as he came from behind me and stood by my arm, looking at David, Victoria, Leo, and Lily, with his hands on my waist. I smile and say yes because I had to agree that this was not the right time. Then let's go home? Say bye to them later in a message, he recommended. I agreed with this idea. After coming out of the hall, both of us were moving towards his car, but I was very nervous. He was going to leave me in front of my house, but now that house was no longer mine. On reaching the car, he opened the door for me, motioning me to sit inside, but I fidgeted with my fingers. I stood there like that but did not get in. What's the matter? We don't have to go by car. He asked, raising one of his eyebrows looking at me suspiciously. No, that's not the case. My luggage is in Victoria's car. I will just go and get my luggage. It will take time. Why don't you go first and I will just take a taxi, I replied. As soon as I was about to go to Victoria's car, he stopped me. He had already gone and retrieved my luggage. Putting both of my bags on the back seat, he quickly closed the car door once again gesturing for me to sit. Why? Why can't he let me go alone? Why was he so obsessed with giving me a lift? This time I had no other excuse so I had to get in. We were on the way and only 2 minutes had passed, but I was very nervous. I could not think where I would go on such a night. Seems like I would have to stay in a hotel. I couldn't think of asking for help from Asher. He has always grown up with money, but I was from a middle-class family. If he knew that I did not even have a house to live in, then he may think that I was very poor. Yes, I was still poor, but I would make living arrangements for myself soon. I just had to find a place to stay tonight. Why are you so nervous? Is there anything you are hiding from me? He asked. With his abrupt question, I became even more agitated. I had completely forgotten that he could feel all of my emotions. No, I'm just a little tired, I hedged, staring straight outside the window, not daring to turn towards him a single time. I was just praying to the moon goddess not to have to talk even more about this matter. By the grace of the goddess, he did not take the matter forward and the journey was peaceful. I knew his eyes were fixed on me, which was making my heart beat fast. Suddenly he held my one hand and I still did not look back at him. I was blushing like a little girl. It was embarrassing, so I just kept my face towards the other side. The car window was open and a cool breeze touched my face. I rested my head on the seat. I did not know when my eyes closed looking out the window. When I heard the sound of car doors opening, I opened my eyes. I saw that the car had stopped and Asher had exited the car. Oh no! Why did he get out of the car? I was thinking that I would not let him get out and before that I would move towards my house, but he just got out. What would happen now? I did not have house keys. Home, he stated, opening the car door for me. As soon as I got out of the car, I found myself in an unfamiliar place. This was not the place that I used to live, rather the car was parked in front of a mansion. I jumped in shock and saw there was a big garden. I looked back and there was a big iron door. Asher, I think you forgot the way to my house. This is not my house, I told him, noticing that he had already taken my luggage from the car. I know. This is my house and from today it is our home. We will be living together from now on. He replied, holding my hand. He took me inside. As I listened to him, my eyes grew wide with surprise. He had a big smile on his face as if he had conquered the whole world. He was looking ecstatic, saying that we would be living together. Everything he said to me was incredible. I was looking at the whole house with my big eyes. We entered the hall and I could not believe that he was asking me to stay here. Sorry, but I cannot stay here. I have home, I lied, trying to get out after taking my heavy luggage with him. He grabbed my waist, hauling me back to the place where I had been standing. Right in front of him. No. You are not going anywhere. You and I will live here and that's final, he demanded, pulling my luggage behind him. Once again his stubbornness was rearing its ugly head. He had cut off my path to my luggage with his big body. Asher, please try to understand. How can I live with you? I asked. He got close to me. Why can't you? He asked in return, looking hurt. I just don't want, I replied, making a grab for my bag again. I was walking out of the house quickly taking my bag, but he again caught me. This time he placed his head on my shoulder, breathing in my scent, and I stopped. Are you scared of me, Bella? Don't you believe me? He asked somberly. I let the bag drop from my hand and turned to look at him. He was really hurt, I could feel it. I cupped his face and raising on my toes while pulling him towards me. I believe you, it's because of my faith in you that I am here, following you blindly, I assured him, placing a soft kiss on his cheek, and he closed his eyes. Then stay with me, Bella. Please don't leave me alone. He begged, placing his hand on my cheek. He again asked me to stay, but that was impossible. But as I was about to refuse to stay here, he placed a finger on my lips, stopped me from speaking, drawing me closer to him. You can't try to hide anything from me, when I already know what the truth is, he admitted. After listening to him, I understood that he knew the truth of my not being home. Did Victoria tell you? I softly asked him. He shook his head. If Victoria didn't tell, then how would you know? I wondered. I was curious to know this as no one knew this except for Victoria and Lily. They promised me they will not tell David or Leo. When I left your house in the morning after bringing you home from the club, I saw your landlord. I just had to show him my eyes to make him spit everything out. That made him run away, but I caught him in time. I got all the information from him that I needed, then I came to discover that you were going to leave home, he replied, and I was shocked. Why did he need to go to such lengths to learn all of this? Scaring a human with his wolf eyes. At that moment Asher grabbed my arms, making me look into his eyes. Asher, I called, getting nervous. After all, how can you hide something so big from me? I waited all the way here for you to tell me the truth, but you did not tell me. Have you been thinking about staying in the street or a hotel? You know how dangerous it can be to go to a hotel on such a night? Then why, Bella? Why didn't you tell me? He asked angrily, but he was mostly hurt as I had not told him. I just lowered my head after listening to him. I did not answer him because I knew that I was at fault. I am sorry, I apologized. Feeling guilty, he lifted my face with his finger. Don't be sorry. It is also angering me because I am making you say sorry. I cannot bear it, he explained, and I could not say anything. Do you understand? He asked, and I nodded my head. If you understand, then let's go to our room, he said. I was in his hold within a second. He scooped me up in his arms and began to climb the stairs. I became panicked. Why his room? Are we both going to share the same room? He was taking me to his room. I knew it was his room as soon as we entered because it was drenched in his citrus and sage scent that drove me crazy. He placed me softly down on his bed, then sat beside me. As he moved closer, I drew back in fear. Don't run away from me, he said, holding my hand so that I could not move away. From now on this is our room, Bella, he remarked, kissing my hands. Asher, we cannot stay in the same room, I muttered. I knew it would hurt him, but I just could not stay with him. Is this the reason? He asked, and I lifted my eyes to look at him. He was holding a diary in his hand that was mine. It had disappeared from my house one day and I could not find it. How did you get that? I asked in shock. I stole it, he confessed. What? You stole it? How and why? I asked a lot of questions at the same time like crazy. Yes, I stole it the day that I first entered your house. I wanted to know everything about my mate. What she loves and what she hates. I wanted to be the person that she loves, but do you know what? I learned that the person you love is me, he attested. I lowered my eyes to hide my embarrassment. He really had read everything. I used to write everything about how I felt towards him. How much I loved him and how I was glad that he was my first. Now he knew everything. Being alone was so painful, so I have always written in a diary since my childhood. I never thought he would steal it in order to understand me better. Did he find me weird now? I thought to myself. No, I found it cute and hot, Asher muttered as I stared up at him in shock. Did I say it out loud? Suddenly my lips were firmly placed against his, as he was kissing me. I closed my eyes and opened my mouth for him. He deepened the kiss as the situation was getting hot and heavy. I was again losing my mind and body to him. Soon we were going to do it again. Asher, I called, breaking the kiss one more time, but could not force myself to move away from him. His forehead was touching mine and he was taking a deep breath to control himself. I know why you do not want to stay in the same room as me, he admitted, placing my diary in my hand. It means he had read that part too. About my dream. My dream of getting married like others. Becoming his bride. I wanted to stay in his room as a married couple. Let's do it as you want. We'll share the bed when we get married. The day when I will make you my wife, he assured me with a smile. I smiled back at his respect for my decision. He wanted to marry me. But you will stay in my room. I have so many rooms in this house, but I would love to stay in the living room sofa so that I can keep an eye on you too. What if you need something or you try to run away? He cautioned, looking serious. What? Run away? I asked. He shook his head. Yeah, at David's house you broke the glass in the window and jumped out of it. What if you do something like that again? For that reason I have hired 2 men to be posted at the front door and back doors. What would I do if something like that happened? I would have to tie you to my bed and, he continued, and I rolled my eyes. Shut up, I said, but he kept talking about his insecurities. I said don't say it or there will be a punishment, I warned him, but he did not listen to me. Cannot you hear me? I asked, finally shut his mouth with mine. He immediately stopped and smiled. Don't tell me he was waiting for this and I fell into his trap. If I knew you would make me shut up like this, then I would keep talking just to keep receiving this punishment, he groaned. I also smiled at his words. He wrapped my legs around his waist, getting up from bed without breaking the kiss, making sure to thoroughly claim my mouth. He took me to the bathroom, placing me in the bathtub. You have only half an hour, baby, he said. Baby? I thought, and he was looking at my wet body hungrily. He again leaned down to the bathtub and kissed my shoulders softly. Take a bath, come out and meet in the dining room. I have not eaten anything and I am starving. If I do not see you on time then I will start eating you, he warned. With that he left the bathroom and I ran to lock the bathroom door. He looked serious about eating me and I knew exactly what kind of eating he was talking about. He would really do it. No. I should take a quick shower before he really eats me. Ch 51. Beta Levis P.O.V. I parked my car in front of the same shop where Julie saw the girl that looked like Amber entering. This was the same shop where Leo's mate Lily and our future Luna, Asher's mate, also worked part-time jobs. Alpha Gabriel was still out of town for work, but Julie's discomfort was not allowing me to sit comfortably, so I came here by myself to try and find the girl so that I could calm Julie down. I had to see who that girl who looks like Amber was. It was a quiet evening and as soon as I entered the shop my eyes were looking for that girl only. I knew Lily would not be working here tonight because Leo said that he was with Lily at this time. Well, I wanted to see Lily as well as Luna, but both went out with Asher and Leo. I had discovered that there was a farewell party for Asher, Leo, and the other senior students tonight. 4 to 5 girls were working in the shop, but none of their faces looked like Amber. I did not understand why seeing any of these girls' faces Julie would get the illusion of seeing Amber. "Sir, what can I help you with?" A man came in front of me and I was sure that he had to be the manager. "I am looking for a girl. She has black, long, thick hair. She has big eyes and is very beautiful. Do any of the girls with similar looks work here?" I asked. Instead of turning around the matter, I immediately talked about the issue because I had to return to the pack as well. "Sorry, but I cannot give you the personal information of the employees," he told me, smiling. "I am the uncle of this shop owner and father of Leo. I want to know about this girl as it is important for me," I informed him, placing my ID in front of him as evidence, and as soon as he saw the ID he immediately bowed respectfully in front of me. "Please forgive my mistake, sir. I did not know about you," he said, afraid of losing his job. "No problem. Now I want to know about that girl," I replied, immediately speaking about the issue at hand. "Where there is talk of beauty, all the girls here are beautiful and everyone has big eyes, but there is only one girl with long, thick black hair," the manager explained, and I asked him the girl's name. "Bella," he replied, and I was surprised to hear this name as it was the same name that Asher had given as his mates. It can only be coincidental, but I had to confirm it. "Can I see the ID of that girl from when you hired her? Or a photo of her?" I inquired, looking at his office room. "Sorry, but she quit this job yesterday. Her personal information register suddenly disappeared from the office one day and was never found again. So I can't show you her photo," the manager revealed. I just wanted to kill him. What useless person could not keep a copy of an ID? I did not say anything to him but left the shop. After all, why would a thief steal only that girl's information register? This whole thing seemed somewhat strange, as well as Luna's long dark wavy hair, and the description of her was the same as that of Amber. So was what Julie was saying true? But it was also not right to tell Alpha Gabriel without proof, as I had not seen the face of that girl myself. I did not understand what to do. Julie did not even know that I had come here, so I thought it appropriate to keep this to myself until the appropriate time comes. Should I not see her face in CCTV cameras? Lily's P.O.V. It was past 11 at night, and after having dinner at school, I was feeling very tired and sleepy. I thought about going back home in Victoria's car, but Leo forced me into his and insisted on giving me a lift home. I could not refuse him, as I also wanted to spend more time with him. "Are you very sleepy, Lily?" he asked, looking at me yawning. "To be honest, yes. Sleep is my weakness. I am even sleepier due to exhaustion," I told him as he stopped the car on the side and went inside a coffee shop. After a while, when he came out, I saw 2 coffees in his hand. "This coffee is for you. Now we have a long way to go, so I would like you to stay awake and keep talking to me," he explained, having a sip of his. "But I have seen in movies that at such a time boys say to girls to go to sleep, but you brought me coffee? You are not like them," I teased him, having a little fun, but I had no idea that this fun of mine would be overshadowed by me. Opening his seat belt, he immediately climbed on top of me and snatched the coffee from my hand and pinned both hands over my head. By the time I understood what he was trying to do, it was too late because he was kissing me passionately. "What are you doing?" I asked, nervously. "I am answering your question," he replied, kissing my lips again, and I opened my mouth accepting his tongue invitation. "If you fall asleep I won't be able to control my wolf. You can stop me while you're awake, but if you fall asleep I won't stop without finishing what I have started," he clarified. Upon hearing what he said to me indirectly, my throat got swollen. "Do you want me to NE with you in this car while you are sleeping?" he asked as I began to chew my lower lip. "No, please don't," I replied immediately. "All right then. So now finish this coffee like a good girl and don't make the mistake of sleeping until your home comes," Leo warned. Fearing that possibility, I immediately nodded, and with a devilish smile he pulled himself back to begin driving again. For a few seconds I remained stunned as I could not understand what had just happened to me, but as soon as he glanced at me again, I instantly took coffee in my hands and started drinking. He was dangerous. I screamed in my mind and did not let the emotion appear on my face. After almost half an hour's journey, I reached near home and I had not made the mistake of dozing off for a single second. The car was on my street and I had a big smile on my face. "Why do you seem happy?" "I am trying to drive the car slowly here so that I can spend as much time with you as possible, but you are looking very happy when you are about to leave me," Leo grumbled angrily. I promptly controlled my smile. "No, you're thinking wrong," I lied, though I really wanted to run inside my house as soon as possible because I was guessing that he would try to do something when the car stopped. He quickly stopped the car after hearing me. "Really? If so, don't go home tonight," he pleaded, as he once again started moving towards me as if a small child moved greedily towards his favorite candy. "Stop it! I am feeling sleepy. I'm going home," I said, immediately putting my fingers to his lips in order to stop him from kissing me. He sat back in his seat, the anger and frustration clearly visible in his face. "I am going," I stated, as soon as I placed my hand on the handle to open the car door. He grabbed my hand. "Aren't you afraid of being at home alone?" he asked, suddenly talking about fear. I was entangled in his talk. "Fear? Fear of what?" "For the last 8 years, I have always been alone because whether Oliver lived in the house or not, it was the same," I divulged, presenting to him the truth of my fearlessness. Which was absolutely legitimate. Hearing me, he shook his head, coming close to me to speak softly in my ear. "Looks like you misunderstood me," he whispered as if a third man was listening to us. "What do you mean?" I also whispered, thinking that someone around was listening to our conversation. "That was why he is behaving this way." "I mean ghosts," he replied, making his voice heavy and frightening. "What did you say?" "Ghosts?" I asked, surprised as soon as I heard the word. "Yes, ghosts. Beautiful girls who live alone at home. The ghost harasses them very much at night, and I am worried that there may be a ghost in your house too. So I hope I will stay with you in your house so that I can protect you from the terrible, scary ghosts," he gave as an excuse, making his voice even more terrible. As soon as he finished his sentence, I rolled my eyes. I immediately pushed him back, using my finger on his forehead. I agree that I am crazy, but not as much as you think I am. If there is someone who is the biggest and scariest ghost, then you are the one who I would never make the mistake of inviting to my house. So stop making excuses and go home, I teased, rolling my eyes while saying this. I saw his sincere and sad face for the last time as I got out of the car. I do not know how he so rapidly transformed his face from clever, handsome. My heart wanted to invite him to my house right this second, but I controlled myself as I knew what his purpose was. He did not drive off in his car. I saw that he had crossed his arms over his chest as he watched me walk towards my house with a long face. I smiled softly at seeing his stubborn behavior. Was he really expecting that I would invite him in? It was his mistake, not mine. As soon as I reached the main door of my house, my steps stopped because I was very nervous. In panic, I put my hand over my mouth. Leo may have seen me doing this. What happened? Leo asked, instantly getting out of the car, and was very serious. I pointed to the main door with my finger, telling him that the door of my house was open and that I had locked it before I left. Leo immediately grabbed my hand, pulling me closer to me as I watched him sniff the air. Who's in my house? Is there a wolf like that day? I asked, but he shook his head. No, there are 2 humans in there, he explained. 2 humans? I repeated, surprised as I was the only one who stayed in this house now that Oliver had left. Are they thieves? I wondered. I don't know, but I will learn what is going on when I enter the house. Until then, take my car keys and sit inside. Do not come out until I say it is safe to, he instructed. Having placed the car keys in my hand, he hurriedly entered the house exactly like an epic warrior who was not afraid of anything. How could he expect me to leave him in such a dangerous situation while I just sat in the car and waited for him? It had only been 5 seconds since he went in that I followed after him. After all, it was my house. I saw Leo as soon as I entered the house. Perhaps he had smelled me as he instantly looked back at me. I told you to wait for me in the car outside, where it was safe, he grumbled at me harshly. I know, but this house is mine, and if there is a thief here, you will not face him alone, we will face it together, I told Leo, not understanding why he had a smile on hearing me. Well, the idea is not bad. I don't want to do anything without you, but I want to do many more things. I'm just waiting for you to say yes to me, he confided, using innuendo to get his point across while I behaved as if I did not understand him, but I could not stop my smile. That was when I heard the sound of someone descending the stairs. It meant that both the thieves had been in my room and were coming out from there. Leo became alert again and was ready to attack as soon as the 2 thieves came down. One was a man and the other was a woman. My eyes widened at the sight of one of them. Mom! I exclaimed. I could not believe I was seeing my mother after so many years. Lily, she called. I could not control myself and immediately embraced her. She was back. Mom, where have you been for all these years? Why did you leave me? I asked. I didn't even try to control the flow of tears from my eyes. After so many years, it was a big thing for me to see my mother alive, standing in front of me. I never thought that she would come back to me. I pushed myself a little away from her, but I was slightly disappointed that she was not hugging me back. She was only standing there like a statue. Was she not happy to see me? Why was she not smiling? Who is this boy? Mom asked me directly about Leo, who was standing behind me. She did not look happy to see him either. Surely the rich boy here would be your daughter's boyfriend. An unknown man standing behind Mom said. I was enraged to hear him. He was being rude, calling Leo a rich boy. Who are you and what are you doing in my house? I asked him, but I got the answer from Mom. Hold your tongue, Lily. This man is my husband, Mom reprimanded me. She got angry and grabbed my arm so hard that it was painful, but this pain was nothing in comparison to the revelation that this stranger was my mother's husband. You got married? When? I asked. I was hurt more than shocked. I did not even know about it. Not only did we get married, but we also have a 7-year-old son. Once again the man spoke, revealing more information about my mother than I've learned in years. The marriage wasn't the part that was bothering me, it was hearing about my 7-year-old half-brother that was causing me to feel as if the ground was collapsing from beneath my feet. This meant that after she left me alone, Mom immediately married this man and started a new family. Mom, a great many things have happened, but you haven't told me anything, I accused her. She rolled her eyes. What difference does it make? Does it make you happy to make me feel like a mom? Did you feel that I would not marry because of you or without your approval? Mom replied, sitting on the couch with her husband. No, you are misunderstanding me. I am glad you got married. I'm just surprised as I didn't know about any of this, I remarked. After listening to me, Mom looked at me and smiled. Seeing her smile made me so elated that I was about to go to hug her again, but then she put up her palm, halting me. Don't come any closer to me, just listen to me from where you are, my mom said, and hearing her cold words and seeing her facial expressions broke my heart because she was treating me as if I was some kind of disease that was transferable via touch. I froze in my place as Mom started speaking again. I have packed your belongings and put your suitcase near the stairs. Take your luggage and get away from this house, never come back, my mom commanded. I was stunned listening to her wishes, her mind, and her new husband, but her sick twisted smile convinced me that what I heard was true. Mom, what kind of joke is this? I am your daughter, I have always lived in this house. How can I leave my home? Where will I go? I asked, in complete and utter shock. Have I joked with you about anything that I have said today? Then how could you possibly think that this is a misunderstanding? She replied with a cold expression. Nevertheless, to make sure that everything is perfectly clear for you, I will explain it to you one last time. You have been living in this house for many years, but will not be any longer. The real mistress of this house has returned and now I have a new family. I do not want to see anyone from my old life while I am with my new family. I don't even want your shadow cast onto my family. I do not know where you will go or where you will be, nor do I particularly care, as that is all your problem. Now pick up all your belongings and leave my home, she ordered. Well, I am sure this rich boyfriend of yours will definitely keep you, the man sneered at me with a sleazy smile. Yes, that is absolutely true. You have a boyfriend, one that is rich. Then why are you causing all this drama with your naivete? Mom asked. The woman sitting in front of me used to be my mother at one time, the person that I had waited for many years to return to me. I had always wished that she would come back, but I hadn't known that her return would lead to my departure from this house. My own mother has kicked me out of the house. All this had happened in front of the one person whom I had never wanted to have to see the full truth of my life. Leo. He had witnessed everything. He had learned how insignificant I truly was to my family. A person that no one wanted. Thinking all this, tears gathered in my eyes, but I did not let them fall. Oh my God, baby, Lily. Don't cry, my mother's new husband jeered, coming closer to me. If you want, you can stay. Don't worry, I will convince your mother, but you have to call me daddy, he said, reaching out to touch my cheek, and I flinched. He was having revolting thoughts about me, definitely not as a daughter. Suddenly Leo pulled me back. The next moment he punched my mother's new husband's cheek. My eyes opened with surprise as I was not able to say anything, but at the same time my mom was so scared that she screamed loudly. Leo punched him so abruptly and with so much rage that 2 of his front teeth were broken. I could see 2 more teeth on the ground. Oh my God! What did you do to my husband? She shouted at Leo. Ah! Leo growled in frustration, sinking down so he was level with the screaming person on the floor. He pulled him up by his collar until they were face to face. I was listening to you and your wife talk for so long that I could not control myself any longer. Sorry for that, but the mistake you committed towards my girlfriend is not forgivable. How dare you desire after her? Was this the hand that you touched her with? Leo shouted. I saw that Leo was going to break his jaw, seeing he had already broken every bone in his hand. He was shouting in pain and Mom was shouting in fear. Lily! Stop your boyfriend! My husband will die! My mom shrieked, and I was so terrified watching the scene that was unfolding before me. I totally forget that I should stop Leo or he would just kill him. Leo, stop it, I demanded, getting closer to him on the floor. I don't want to. He touched you. He desired after my mate. He growled in fury again. I was afraid that Mom would see his eyes. It's okay. I don't care. Let him go. Trying to coax him into loosening his grip on the man's jaw. You don't care, but I care, Lily. You don't have to stop me, I will just pluck his eyes out in front of your mother, not only him but your mom as well. Leo exclaimed. Hearing his threat, Mom was petrified. I knew what her next move would be. She was going to call the police. I threw her phone, totally destroying it in anger. Stop using your old tricks! I shouted at her, looking at Leo. Leo! If you do not let that man go and follow me, then I will never talk to you again in this lifetime. I shouted at him. As soon as he heard me, his face turned white and he instantly let his jaw go. I only looked at Mom one last time, grabbed my luggage that was already packed for me by the stairs and left the house. I ran out of my own house with my luggage and walked down the road. I could not stop my tears any longer, I was crying like crazy. I could not believe my own mother had kicked me out of the house and her life as well. Just because she now had a new husband and a son, she did not want me. If I had known that I would have to witness all this in order to see her again, I would never have wished for her to come back. I was not only saying this for the house, but I would never be able to forget the horrid way she had treated me today. Lily, Leo called as he came running up to me, maybe he had followed me as soon as he got out of my house. "Where are you going?" he asked, snatching the bag from my hand. "I do not know," I answered him as he clasped my hand, pulling me towards his car. He threw my luggage in the back seat. "What are you doing?" I inquired. He blocked the door, so that I could not take my bags back. "Taking you to my house," he stated, opening the door for me. "What?" My eyes widened with surprise. He was taking me to his home? "Yes, of course. Tonight you will stay in my house, soon I will take you with me to my pack, where my mother and all my family live," he replied. I was horrified hearing about being introduced to his mother and family. "All of them are werewolves. There is nothing to worry about. You believe me, don't you?" he asked, cupping my face in his palm. "Yes, I do, but will they accept me? I am human. I do not want to live among them as an unwanted person. I am scared I will not go to your pack either." I shook my head, expressing my feelings and fears to him. He already knew that I was afraid of them. "Don't worry, they will accept you no matter if you are human or not. My mother is eagerly awaiting her daughter-in-law," Leo divulged. As I heard the word daughter-in-law, I could not hold back my blush. I totally forgot what had transpired in my house at that moment. He was calling me a daughter-in-law. "Now you are smiling," he said, giving me an arrogant smirk. I just pushed him away a little. "But I will still not come to your pack," I remarked, and he frowned. "Why?" he almost shouted in frustration. "Because I am shy. Do you hear me? As you can see, I am not daughter-in-law material. Your parents will immediately dislike me," I replied. Instantly he had a huge smile on his face. "It means you are ready to become the daughter-in-law of my parents, right?" he asked. I felt like I was trapped in my own words. I had indirectly said that I was going to become his bride. "I did not say that," I argued, trying to change the subject so that I could save me, but he just kissed my cheek. "Don't worry, I will ask Victoria and she will teach you about everything, whatever you want to know about my mom or anything about my pack. Soon I will bring you to my pack. Until then you are going to live with me at my house and there will be no argument," he just announced, and I had to sit in his car as he had already started driving. I had not even said that I would live in his house, but he just took it that I had agreed. On the way I argued with him about it a lot, but he was ignoring me like I was not even talking. He was telling me about other things. Slowly I was forgetting about my mom and thinking about Leo's house where I was going to live. I don't know what was happening, but I think this change was a bit sudden. I was going to live with a man without marriage. It was truly scary. Beta Levis P.O.V. It was now nighttime and I was standing in the CCTV camera room of the shop, crossing my arms over my chest, waiting for the manager to show me the video footage of Bella. My sharp eyes were fixed on his scared face. From time to time his eyes were glancing at me, giving me a nervous smile as he sweat badly. "Just 2 more minutes please," the manager said now for the 5th time in the last 10 minutes. He was so nervous about me watching him that his hands were trembling. My patience had reached its breaking point. I put both my hands on top of the desk. The computer was just below me. I bent down slowly in front of the manager's face, staring into his eyes. "Whatever it is, I want to know the truth. How is it possible that for the last 10 minutes you have been trying to find the video footage, but you have not found any? What is it that you are trying to hide from me? I asked, raising my eyebrow to show him that I was suspicious of him. No, I am not hiding anything from you, he replied, becoming even more nervous, which heightened my skepticism. Then what's the matter? I asked him, and he took a deep breath. Actually, the truth is that Asher has taken all the recordings of the CCTV cameras, the manager answered. After listening to the manager, I was stunned for a few seconds. He had taken all the recordings. Why? What does Asher do with these videos? I asked him. Actually, he used it to see Bella every day with a CCTV camera when she wasn't talking to him for a long time. There was about a week when she did not come into work. He still used to stare at the videos hoping she would come in. Also, the closing time of the shop is at 11 at night, but Leo and Asher would both come and be around Bella and Lily for as long as they wanted. Now you can understand what these young boys and girls were doing alone. So Asher kept complete control over the CCTV video footage even though he never let me enter this room. He keeps every video with him as if it were a diamond, the manager explained. After listening to him, I rolled my eyes. The first thought that came to my mind was like father like son. How can I forget how crazy and possessive Alpha Gabriel was over his Luna? Asher was exactly like his father, but due to this madness of his, I no longer had the chance to see Luna Bella's face either. Coming out of the shop, I was sitting in the car to make my way back to the pack. I felt that I should not dwell on this matter, nor should I do any more investigation into it. It may be that Julie had been confused or that the face of the girl had just been similar to Amber. I will just explain to Julie that this was her misunderstanding so that Alpha doesn't needlessly bother with opening a case, but just once I would like to see Luna Bella's face. Bella's P.O.V. When I got out of the bathroom after taking a shower, my bag, which I had last seen in the hallway, was already in the corner of Asher's bedroom. Maybe Asher had brought it up and put it in here while I was in the bathroom. I took the clothes out of the bag, thinking about changing the clothes in the room. After closing the door of the room, as soon as I turned, I looked carefully around Asher's room. It was as beautifully furnished as the rest of the house. He had told me that this room was now mine. I smiled, realizing that I was in his room, which was full of his yummy scent. I put my clothes on, having decided to take a little tour of his room. There were so many posters of the Avengers, especially Thor. It seemed he liked Thor more than any other of the other Avengers. Well, Thor was hot. I glanced around the room, finding his closet was semi-closed. "Let's peek!" Lena exclaimed. She was very excited as she wanted to know more about our mate. I was also curious, but I shook my head. "Don't act like a creep. We are not going to look at any of his things without his permission, even though he is our mate," I explained to her. She rolled her eyes. "Have you ever thought that when he entered your house the night you were under that spell that he may have seen and done other things than just stealing your diary?" Lena asked. Her words hit my mind like a ton of bricks. It pushed me to think about what he could have seen or looked through. What if he had gone through my closet? He had already revealed that he was a thief. But what other things had he done to invade her privacy behind my back? Oh my God! I thought as Lena smirked in my mind. She had really got me going with her words, and they had worked like alcohol on my mind, making me question and doubt everything. I will still not peek in his closet, I informed her. She smiled brightly at me as we both ignored the other. Now she was talking to me as we had not been rejected. Now she was happy and excited. I decided to leave the room, when I noticed a photo that was placed on the table beside the bed. I picked it up, finding that it was a picture of a beautiful woman. I was sure that she was Asher's mother because he looks just like her. Now I had learned where he got his handsomeness. His mother was a perfect example of beauty. In front of her I was nothing. In reality, I was not as beautiful as Susie and Jessica, but I did not know what attracted him towards me. He thought of me as beautiful and accepted me as his mate. I don't know about you, but I am beautiful. Lino laughed, showing her teeth. I couldn't help but join her. She was really something, but how could I forget that she and I were the same? If she was beautiful, then so was I. After placing the photo of his mother back carefully, I walked out of the room. When I entered the dining room, Asher was on the phone looking frustrated for some reason. "Do I pay you so that you can give me reasons?" he asked. His voice was heavy, like he was holding his anger back. He was silent for a few seconds before barking, "There is no need to come to my house in this lifetime. This position is no longer yours. You're fired." Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.